The social and literary scene of 19th century England. The 19th century was a period of immense social change in England, driven by industrialization, political reforms, and scientific advancements. These transformations were reflected in literature, which evolved from Romanticism to Victorian realism and later the aesthetic movement. Social scene of 19th century England. Industrial Revolution and urbanization. The Industrial Revolution reshaped England, leading to rapid urbanization. Cities like Manchester and Birmingham grew as people migrated from rural areas for factory jobs. However, industrialization created harsh working conditions, child labor, and overcrowded, unsanitary living environments. While the middle class gained wealth, the working class faced poverty and exploitation, prompting social reforms. Class structure and political reforms. Victorian society was highly stratified. The aristocracy maintained power, the middle class expanded, and the working class struggled for rights. The Reform Acts of 1832, 1867, and 1884 gradually extended voting rights to more men, while the Poor Law Amendment Act 1834 aimed to address poverty through workhouses, though these were harsh. The Chartist movement advocated for workers' rights, and reformers like Florence Nightingale improved public health. Women's role and feminism. Women were expected to fulfill domestic roles, but by the late 19th century, feminist movements emerged. Mary Wollstonecraft and later the suffragettes fought for gender equality. The Married Women's Property Acts 1870 1882 granted women financial independence, marking progress toward women's rights. Science versus religion. Scientific discoveries, such as Charles Darwin's theory of evolution on the origin of species, 1859, challenged religious beliefs and sparked debates on faith and reason. Advances in medicine, transportation, and communication transformed daily life, influencing literature's engagement with progress and uncertainty. Literary scene of 19th century England, Romanticism, 1780 to 1830. Romanticism rejected industrialization and emphasized nature, emotion, and imagination. Key poets included William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Lyrical Ballads, 1798, celebrating nature and common life. Lord Byron, known for his rebellious heroes in Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. Percy Bysshe Shelley, Ode to the West Wind, a revolutionary thinker. John Keats, famous for Ode to a Nightingale, exploring beauty and mortality. Victorian literature, 1830s to 1900. The novel became dominant, reflecting social concerns. Charles Dickens exposed social injustices in Oliver Twist and Hard Times. Charlotte and Emily Bronte blended Gothic and psychological depth in Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. George Eliot, Middlemarch, and Thomas Hardy, Tess of the D'Urbervilles explored realism and fate. The aesthetic movement. By the late 19th century, some writers rejected moralism in favor of art for art's sake. Oscar Wilde, with the picture of Dorian Gray and the importance of being earnest, championed wit and beauty. Conclusion. The 19th century was a time of industrial progress, social change, and literary evolution. Literature reflected these transformations, moving from Romanticism's idealism to Victorian realism and aestheticism. These works continue to influence modern thought and literature,